I remember vividly going to Catholic school as a kid. They taught you how to be in a line single file, fire drills, standing in line, going to the bathroom, going from classroom to classroom.
Well,
you were in a single file. These people are 6 people deep, all in a circle like a football huddle. And they won't get out of the way. And I'm like, do you want to get in? You got to let me out.
Do you remember also with the school thing that it was always in alphabetical order? So I was always...
We did that for a while, yeah.
I was always by it was Stephen Pycraft and Josh Pelton. They were always my line partners. And not that I didn't like them, but I wasn't friends with them. And I hated the fact that I always had to be next to those 2 guys. And one of my girlfriends, her last name was Davis, and she always got to do everything first because she was first in the alphabet. I'm like, they should do this in reverse, so sometimes the back alphabet people can have the nice luxury of doing something first.
Yes, when you're headed to the bathroom and your last name starts with P, like pain, you got to hold your P it's a long process, right?
Yes.
It's the Scott and Allie Not for Air podcast. The rules are gone. The shirt is untucked. Here's Scott and Allie.
Welcome to the Scott and Allie Not for Air podcast. How the heck are you?
Good. Coming off of our business trip and hanging out, it made me realize if we had to do that again as even a personal trip, I think that we could vacation together. Let's say your fam, my fam got together.
I definitely think so. I think I pride myself on being pretty easy to travel with for the most part. I mean, I have my quirks, I have to have my baby wipes at arm's reach.
That's not even a bad quirk.
Right? Well, it's funny. I keep preaching this to everyone. So having, I'm years out of having kids with diapers, minutes from getting into my own. It's been a long time. But I realized with the second batch of kids, I'm like, I'm going to keep baby wipes on hand at all times because, well, first of all, if I'm driving anywhere and Lydia is eating anything, it's guaranteed that it's going to get everywhere.
Yep.
Gavin handed me something in the back of the car yesterday. He was so mad at his sister. It was some little toy thing he had or whatever in the back of the car, and he touches it and he goes, "Oh my God, Lydia!" And I'm like, "What? What happened now? What do I have to pull over and tear you 2 apart? What happened?" She apparently had, when we went to the drive-in, one of those blue slushies, which is the second it starts to dry, it is just coagulating sugar, and you touch it, and it's like that scene from Vacation where Chevy Chase gets his fingers with the sap stuck to the pages, nothing will come off of it. Next thing you know, you got this hairy toy because it's picked up all sorts of stuff in the car. So what do? I go, "Gavin, hand it to me." And he finally unglues it from his finger, and I get it. I'm up here driving down the road, polishing it with a baby wipe, hand it right back to him. I'm like, this is perfect. The same trip, she gets something on her. I'm like, baby wipe it away. We stop at a McDonald's. I'm like, let's go. We can drive. And I'm like, my hands are... So I'm a little quirky. I realize that, but I feel like it's a smart quirk.
Yeah, that's not a bad quirk at all. Also, that means your son is just like you.
Yes.
And I'm the Lydia. Everything that I touch, because I had something from McDonald's, and it was super sticky. I had jelly all over everything. And I was like, it's fine. I try to rub my hands together and try to get the jelly stickiness off. So I don't even think that that's a bad quirk at all. Nothing about the trip was like, oh, that's a red flag quirk on vacationing together.
No, I mean, we got in, we hauled our way down there and did our thing, and yeah, just it all worked. It was good.
It did.
I mean, there were I'm trying to think. There was nothing super crazy that happened during the trip. I mean, I will tell you, you get that many people that all work for the same company together that don't get together that often, that work around an entertainment part of the business, because it all revolves around entertainment. And of course, obviously, you want to make money doing it, but let's face it, without the entertainment, it's all not coming together. And boy, oh boy, can they party.
Oh, yeah. But that's what makes them fun. But I also noticed, too, even people that I hadn't met before, we sat and talked and like intensely talked and told each other things that were like on the personal realm, and I don't know if this happens, let's say it's a whole conference with accountants. I don't know if accountants sit next to each other and divulge their life information.
Right.
Where that's something that we all felt very comfortable doing. And I felt like even though I had not met one of our coworkers, Lily, who is no one that I had met before, we had just been on social media and conversed that way. I felt like her and I were friends already. And that's the beautiful part of our industry, for sure.
It was a great trip. It really was. It was a lot of fun. It was, I mean, I will say that my most interesting moment was standing in the shower in my room, which shockingly we did not have to share with another coworker. I'm honestly, it's funny. Having been at the conference, there were a few people that had they paired up people, I'd have been okay. I'd have been like, all right, I'm okay for the night if we did that. But I think they figured between the dinner, between putting people at tables that were separate from the people they were comfortable with, like you and I were a table away from each other, close enough that if we needed to lean on each other for something, you were like, right there. But it was easy, and that was really nice. My favorite part of it, not my favorite part, but the most interesting part was, and it was a nice enough hotel that we were in. I mean, it was, it did the job. We had a nice conference area and stuff like that. I did at one point in the shower look up, though, and realize these are regular ceiling tiles, like the kind you see in one of those ceilings that gets lowered in an office building, that
Drop
has
ceilings.
like the foam kind of things. I'm like, that's a bold move in a shower, because I know that if I've ever had any kind of a leak in my house, I have one of those ceilings down in the apartment, and there has been a couple times where a little bit of water's gotten through, like a shower got crazy or something with the kids, and you get some drips, and it stains like a son of a bitch. So I'm like, interesting move in a shower, but it was okay.
Definitely okay.
But anyway, that was good. We did that and got back. But then the next day, so we're coming off, and this podcast will drop the day before Gavin's 11th birthday. But we did all the celebrating over this past weekend.
Yes.
And I mean, working in reverse, Sunday was great. Big pool party. Everybody came back to the house after we were at the town pool. I'm very blessed. I have a really nice kind of hidden secret town pool where I live, and it was not overly packed. I mean, it was a hot day, so it was a little busy, but they treat you right if you buy the birthday package, which I did, and it was worth every dime of it. But we said we're not going to bring cake and pizza and stuff to a 90-degree sunny pool where you have like a lifespan of 8 minutes before food, even pizza starts to turn,
right.
So that was great. Everything went well with that yesterday. On Saturday, the day before that, we went to Legoland, which is just outside of New York City. And by the way, huge props to Legoland. One of the cleanest parks I've ever been in. Really, and I say this because now I'm, of the age where apparently that matters to me. The clean park versus the great roller coaster with the barf next to it. Also a sign of a good park. But,
I get this.
Or a county fair. But at any rate, I was just impressed at how well they kept up with everything. But then I had a moment and I'm like, wow, somewhere there was an etiquette drop-off in a huge way. And I'm not talking people of different cultures visiting. In other parts of the world, personal space is not as important as it is, let's say, here in the U.S. of A., right?
Oh, go to the Watkins Glen Gorge.
Oh, yeah, they're right.
That's the worst.
You think you're actually carrying them up the climb,
Yeah.
But and pushy with the pictures.
Oh, God,
you're like, oh, God. All right. So, but at any rate, this is more just in general, I noticed an etiquette fall off.
What's that?
So they have one of the coolest things there that, and maybe this is more common in amusement parks than I realized. They have these refill stations. So you buy a commemorative cup, and it's not cheap, but you can refill all day long.
Yeah.
And it was a hot day. It was arguably upper 80s, full sunshine. We were all refilling our drinks all day. So I mean, Powerade, you kept me alive on Saturday, right?
Yes.
But it was great because this all over the park were these different stations. And if you had the cup, you just went up and filled it up. And in each one of these, it was the same setup in each one. It was 3 of the electronic machines that you sometimes see at McDonald's and other fast food places where you get to digitally select the drink you want. And there's like 820,000 drinks in this one computer system, right? So if you want a Coke, you're good. Diet Coke, you're good. You want a cherry vanilla Diet Coke that you can't get anywhere else on the planet, this machine's got it.
You know
right?
who else does that is Moe's.
Oh, do they really?
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't been to Moe's in a hot minute. I need to go get welcomed. But anyway, everybody does obviously something a little bit different when they're selecting their drink. And I don't mind that it takes a couple seconds for people to kind of figure the machine out as well as read the board to select their drink. That's all part of the process. What kills me is the people that hoard into the machine and you have 8 people standing around one machine and they can't figure it out because they're now bleeding over to the second machine and they're kind of keeping you from being able to get it done. And then after you get your drink filled, they stand right there and they have to put their top on. And this is the one that killed me. It's the woman that stood there after she got her drink. She turns around, and this I saw more than once.
Okay.
And instead of, while you're putting your top on your drink, stepping out of the way so, I don't know, the next family can get up and get what they need, stood there and decided to take an extended long sippy time, if you will. And just
I do this.
stood in front of the machine. And of course, at this point, the evil eyes are coming. You're like, really? Like,
my God,
I'm thirsty too.
I totally do this. So whenever I go get a nice little Diet Coke from our local 7-Eleven, you get the Diet Coke, fill it up pretty much to the top. I will take a big sip and then top it off.
Oh, she didn't do that. She was done. She was done filling it. And like I said, instead of, here, I'll use this as my thing as an example, my travel mug. So here, lid's off. You're done filling it. Instead of kind of moving out of the way, putting the top on so, I don't know, Scott can get up and fill up his and the kids. Stood there and decides, well, my drink's full. It's hot. I need a drink right now. Is drinking it, almost leaning against the machine. I'm like, get out the way. Move, bitch. And just wouldn't do it. And I'm like, get out. Come on.
Seriously, I agree with you on that. But the reason why I do it is like, I'm trying to get more bang for my buck.
Oh, you're doing I hear you.
Yes, because I drink so much and so fast that I just want that little extra couple sips.
See, I can take that.
And I feel guilty about it every single time, but I still do it.
Now, if you're holding up the line, you shouldn't do it.
Right, I know.
But then the other thing that happens too.
That's so funny.
Is, and I had this happen at one point, and it's all with the drink station, right? When you do finally figure it out and you get it done and you turn around, and there's literally now 10 people behind you in your line of the 3 machines looking at you like, and they're like all looking at you, but nobody gets out of your way so you can get out so they can get in. When did we become a culture of like the horde of people all in one pack that cannot move out of the way? I remember vividly going to Catholic school as a kid. They taught you how to be in a line single file, fire drills, standing in line, going to the bathroom, going from classroom to classroom. You were in a single file. These people are 6 people deep, all in a circle like a football huddle, and they won't get out of the way. And I'm like, do you want to get in? You gotta let me out.
Do you remember also with the school thing that it was always in alphabetical order? So I was always
we did that for a while. Yeah,
I was always by like it was Stephen Pycraft and Josh Pelton. They were always my line partners, and I didn't. Not that I didn't like them, but I wasn't friends with them, and I hated the fact that I always had to be next to those 2 guys. And one of my girlfriends, her last name was Davis, and she always got to do everything first because she was first in the alphabet. I'm like, they should do this in reverse, so sometimes the back alphabet people can have the nice luxury of doing something first.
Yes, when you're headed to the bathroom and your last name starts with P, like Payne, you got to hold your P it's a long process, right?
Yes, oh my gosh.
It just killed me. I was like, and it reminded me, this is a story from years ago. So you remember April the giraffe here?
Oh, I was just thinking
Okay, so years ago, so we're in the part of New York where in a quick hour drive or less from where we were, April the giraffe, who has now passed away, by the way. But
And also one of the first viral things.
Yes, yeah, that's right. April, I don't even remember what year that was, to be honest with you. Was it 2015?
Was
2016, maybe?
Was Gavin born? Gavin was born, right?
At any
yes,
rate.
and Gavin must have been really young.
Oh, very much. So at any rate, April the giraffe, which was very
And
viral.
Lydia was not born yet,
I don't
correct?
think so. Well, went to go see April the giraffe, right? And I'll be damned. And I told this story on the air. It's like, think the etiquette through. This woman wanted the perfect picture, and they're hustling you through. Like, you're not supposed to have a lot of time with April the giraffe to get a picture. Well, I guess you have no time to get a picture with her now, with her gone. But, either way, you're not supposed to stand around and take, and it even says, no loitering with the giraffe. I remember the sign saying, please be respectful. Take a quick picture and move on. This woman setting it up like, okay, you here, you here, you here. Now, if it's Allie setting up a social video, we're in the privacy of our own business, and we have a few seconds. There's a line of people half a mile down the road that are trying to do the same thing. And I remember this woman took so long trying to film the perfect picture with 82. It was like a goddamn family reunion, and she's trying to get all of them in there to smile and look at the same time in the perfect picture with the giraffe. By the time I got up to get a picture with the giraffe, you're burned out. You're like, go on, Gavin, stand in front of the giraffe. Let's just get out of here, you know?
And this also reminds me of a few years back, my dad and I went to see Elton John. This is as they were transitioning into everything being digital on your phone. And so when you were talking about like taking the perfect picture, being ready, all of that, things that I think that you and I, because of this industry and how we've evolved with it very quickly and doing everything digital, we know to have our phone ready. We know all these little things. But it was Elton John, and most of the audience of Elton John is older. Well, since this is their first time with a digital ticket, the phones weren't ready. It took so long. I'm walking to my seat and Elton John is walking on stage because people did not have their phones open and ready, and they couldn't figure out how to do the system.
Oh my God.
Yes. It's the worst. Now,
you know what they need to do in situations like that?
What?
You need to go further back in the line. You need about let's say 10 people per line that can start walking back in the line and saying, okay, Hazel, get out your phone, because you know it's Hazel.
Yeah.
And basically be like, all right, now you know how your ticket got your email. Yes, it hit my Hotmail. And then I'm one to talk. I still keep an AOL, but shut up. So what you do is you're like, all right, now Hazel, listen, I want you to open your email and I want you to find the email that says this is your ticket, because it usually comes in tickets to, I mean, there's a header to this thing, right?
Yeah.
Or it's Ticketmaster that sends it. Either way, it's pretty clear on what it is from them. Or you might get a couple emails. One might say, remember to arrive, or remember bringing big bags in. You know how you get a few emails when you book something?
Yes.
You get the ticket one, then you get a couple more, like almost a reminder in that. Have the young, have the Gen Zs that are working this thing, have them start walking the line so that all Hazel has to do by the time she gets up there is unlock her phone again, and it's right there on the screen.
Yeah.
And if they're doing it right, and this would move the line along, because I think it depends on the show. If you're going to see Morgan Wallen, 99% of the people going to see Morgan Wallen know how to do this digitally.
Yep.
And they're going to move that line through like nobody's business. But you go see Elton John, or I don't know, the Rolling Stones, We Can Never Stop Touring tour.
Yes.
Those are the ones you're like, yeah, you need some extra help. And that planning ahead would be good.
Yep.
You're lucky you didn't miss some of Elton's show. I think it's great you actually got to your seat right as he was starting. That for me is like the perfect thing. I'm like, I don't need all the bullshit running up to it. Just get him on.
I know.
Get him on.
I know. Oh my gosh.
And back to April the giraffe. And this is the other thing too, along with this drink thing too. You need the police work involved of the employees there. So with April, I remember there were some employees moving people along, we're going to take the picture. Okay, you're good. Next. That family I was telling you about, because I remember this vividly, those people had either gone on break or they were going through a shift change, so they slid in at just the right time. I'm like, oh my God, your timing on this, which Same with the drink thing and wherever it is, you almost need a couple people there helping to usher, because we are cattle, and unfortunately we are the herd of sheep, and we all just stand around in the field together.
And not everyone has the common sense or can remember what it was like to be in elementary school and stand in the single file line and move it along.
I know it.
Yes.
And also, don't take your big motherfucking stroller in there that's the size of a camper on wheels. No longer do people have strollers that are of any common sense size. These things literally are like an island from
RV.
your kitchen on wheels. And they push them into everywhere.
I know.
It's like, come on.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. Some etiquette, people. Etiquette. Which takes me to another one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I got one more for you. And I forgot about this. So we were at the end of the day at Legoland, and we had done, a bunch of rides and a bunch of different things to see and stuff like that. And it was really cool. And they have this really cool like gondola ride that takes you, literally you just get on and you go in this, circle, and then you're off. And
I love those.
You get, and we thought, well, that's one last thing we could do on the way out of the park, right?
Yeah.
Because it's been a blast so far. Everything was great. We're like, let's ride that. And the line wasn't bad. And it was funny. We get in the line and it said, oh yeah, it's like a 15-minute wait. And I turned to 6059 and I go, it's not a 15-minute wait. There's 82 strollers in line. This thing's not, accounting for the space between human beings. It's accounting for that. So we moved up to the front of the line pretty quick. Within like 6-7 minutes,
nice.
right? So we get up there. And this family, and now mind you, every family had the opportunity to ride one of these gondolas all by themselves, which is kind of the fun part of it. Yeah. You ride with your own family and you're like, oh, look down there. Oh, look at that. And, it's meant to be enjoyable. I'm not using this as a form of transportation to just go in a circle around the park and sit there for a minute with other people. Like every family had the opportunity to go, by themselves in their own little car.
Yeah.
So it gets up to us, and the guy, this other guy had just walked in, like somebody just left the shift, and this other guy came in, and they kind of wrangle people. They're like, okay, step up to this number, this is yours, get in, it doesn't stop moving, move quickly, let's go, okay, this and that. And he was doing this kind of confusing motion to us where he's like, okay, nope, keep coming up. And we're thinking like, oh, they're just going to get us on a little before where they were putting people on before. Like there was enough space on the pad, if you will. And he tried shoving us on with the family that had a stroller too, that just got on. And we're like, don't we get our own gondola?
Yeah.
And he's like, nope, got to keep the line moving. We all look at each other, and it was that silent, fuck you, buddy. You know what I mean? I look right at the guy. I go to the group. I go, let's go. And we just kept walking. I go, you keep the line moving, buddy. And we walked right off the line after waiting in line. We're like, screw this. Went and rode one other ride just to do one more thing before we left. I'm like, what was that? Do I need to create a scene here and be like every other family? And 6059 said it. She goes, what was that? She goes, everybody else got to ride solo with their family, but yet we're meant to pack in with a family with a stroller. And no offense, we've all been in the sun all day. None of us really smelled good by this point in the day.
Right.
And we're hot and we're sticky.
And also, I'm going to take pictures with my family in the gondola. I don't want, Taylor and Tyler and their new baby, Monica. I don't want them in the picture. And no, I don't want to have to create some conversation that I don't want to create right now. I'm here for my family experience.
Yes.
And yes, everyone else got to ride solo. Oh my God.
And because at this point, I'm like, no, there's no sense in a scene. But because it was a great time. Really believe me. I loved it. But I just like, oh God, you dick.
You started out the podcast with something about the pool. I have something with the pool, and I also want to end with something gross that was found in an office of my friend. But before I get there, I have very strong opinions about this. So a friend of mine says that she is taking her kid lunch every single day who works at the pool. Now, I don't know if it's West Elmira, but she was like, am I spoiling my kid for doing this? Because every day that he's working, he's there long days, lifeguarding or whatever else they do at the pool. And so she will bring him lunch. And I was like, why are you bringing him lunch every day? Like, let him pack a lunch or whatever. And she's like, well, he's out in the hot sun. I'm like, here's my opinion about this. is you're spoiling your kid and you're not setting him up to progress as into adulthood.
Be responsible and pack his own food.
At this point, he's like 15, 16 years old. So he's 15, 16 years old. Let him pack his own lunch and get that sense of independence. The job is already the independence, right?
Yeah.
But also what comes with that is preparing for that job, which includes lunch.
Yeah.
And so you come every single day.
I was dragging ass this morning getting in here, first time in a week that I've actually been in studio, and I still packed my own food.
Well,
granted, I was still throwing stuff in the bag minutes before I left. But
yes, but that's also part of the process of learning it. And once in a while, this is probably a big rarity, but like Scott might have his significant other drop off lunch. That might be one of those, like, we're in a relationship. That's a nice little treat.
Usually I have something here that I've already eaten, and she says, hey, you want lunch? Because she eats lunch after we do, because we're totally on a screwed up schedule.
Yep.
And my fat ass can't say no. I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
I'll have a sandwich, sure.
But don't you think that she's spoiling her kid and almost like helicoptering and freaking get your kid off the teat? You do not need to be bringing him lunch every single day. And actually, how this played out too, she was like, oh, I was doing something else with another girlfriend. I don't know if they were like having a coffee or whatever. She had to cut it short just to take her kid lunch. And I was like, girl, do not, if you cut off coffee with me because you have to take your kid lunch, no, he is learning to become an independent human being. Don't you think that's such BS?
I do. The way you're describing it, yes. If he's the 15, 16-year-old,
yes,
I do. Actually, I'm going to tell you, I think why she's doing it. Well, it's tough
because she can't get him off the tee.
Well, that too. If she's 15, 16, you're right. I think it's more that. I do know this, and a lot of times the lifeguards that are there, this is their last summer before they go to college. This is actually why my pool doesn't stay open till Labor Day weekend. They close more so mid to late August, which I wish they'd stay open longer, but almost all their employees, at least what they say, and yeah, I can see the lifeguards, they're getting ready to go to college. So I could see if he was getting ready to go to college in, let's see, and start in September and wouldn't be home as much, I could see her wanting to do one last series of nice things during the summer. Okay. You know, kind of that like, okay, I'm not going to be able to do this anymore because really soon you're going to be aging to the point where either A, you don't live here hardly at all anymore, or, you know, this is sort of the end of that. So if that was the case, if he was 17, almost, or 18, I could see that. If he's 15 or 16 and he's more like still got his senior year, like he was a junior becoming a senior in high school, yeah, that's a little bit of time to teach you the responsibility. Pack your lunch. Even you're always going to have to remind as a parent in the house, don't forget to pack your lunch. That's just the way it's got to go.
Isn't that funny?
It's just life, you know. I mean, eventually everybody clicks in and goes, I'm hungry, I should have packed my lunch. That's how you learn.
That's what I'm saying. He needs to learn
that. And if he's 15, 16, I agree with you. Stop doing it. I have an idea on that, but stop doing, the packing every day.
Yep.
I would understand, though, if they're enrolled already and let's say they're going to Penn State and they're not going to be living at home and, it becomes emotional for mom and this is the last kind of hurrah she can do to,
The fact that you're the one bringing it full circle to this emotional side of this.
Yeah, I know. Brave New World.
It's crazy.
Here's what I would do, though. Be cooler than that. Instead of bringing them lunch every day, what do you got during the summer that the pools are open? Maximum 8 to 10 weeks. Buy a sheet pizza for all the lifeguards to have in the lifeguard shack, but do it every Friday. And just, that way, you're kind of, first of all, what happens? Everybody there goes, oh man, your mom, Barb, it's going to be a Barb, whatever. She's cool. Your mom's cool. She brought us a sheet pizza. And you know what? It gives them all something to look forward to.
Oh, that's a great memory.
Little camaraderie. And also, he's got 4 days to pack his own lunch then and be reminded. That's the secret to it. You could even do that on the last year, like I was saying, if she was doing it because of an emotional, like, that's the end of the line for me to be the mom that I am the way that I am right now, you know?
Oh, and that's one of those core memories that would stick with me too. That is such a great idea.
Yeah, dude.
I love that.
I hope one day, and this is really funny, it's Gavin turns 11 on Wednesday, and I'm already thinking about what jobs he should get. But I'm like, what would be cool for Gavin as early jobs? Because, like, man, I did a bunch. I worked at Burger King, didn't hate it, but I worked at Burger King when I was like 16. Worked at Value Home Center, which is shocking because I'm the most unhandy person. Or at Bloodotomy. I knew certain things and it just left. I had some of those kind of jobs early on. Usually it was my buddy Rob and I would be like, oh, let's go work here. We'll be able to work together and hang out and, whatever. But then I'm like, if Gavin said to me, he goes, I want to go work at McDonald's and, as a teenage job, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. But I'm like, how do I get him into the country club, which is 2 blocks over from the house?
That's a great one. I actually know somebody who worked at our local golf range, and he did lots of jobs like that.
Sure.
Everything from he did a little caddying, a little cleanup. I mean, it was such a great job, and he got tipped.
Yeah, right.
And it was just summer, so he didn't really work a lot during the school year. Maybe if there was something special event, that then he could focus on his schoolwork.
Well, and I swear to God, Gavin's more popular than I am. I mean, he gets noticed more than I do. We can't go around town without one of his friends being like, Gavin! And you're like, oh my God. And I'm like, who's that? So I'm like, this is perfect because, he'll, if he worked at the country club, well then,
also higher caliber.
They know him.
And higher caliber jobs could come from that job.
Sure.
So think of say there's somebody who's a Corning Incorporated person who's golfing there. They fall in love with Gavin as a person, and then that could be his in for whatever career he's going into. I think that's really smart, actually.
But I also want him to do, and I want him to do, I hope he would find interest, when he's got a few years till this would happen. I think he'd be great at doing the lifeguarding thing too, for the summer job. Yeah. I'm not going to force him. It's not like, you're 16, you have to. But
I think he'll get there.
I think I'd like him to do something like that.
Yeah, because it's going to get to a point where you're like, you're not mooching off of Dad.
Well,
you need if you want movie money, burrito money, whatever, then you're going to have to go get your own job.
Well, and I like the fact that, summer jobs kind of teach kids, well, you can't just go out to all hours of the day and night and do whatever you want.
Yep.
You actually have to go, no, I can't hang out with you guys until 7 o'clock when the pool closes and I'm done lifeguarding on a Friday night. You know what I mean? I like that.
Because what's going to happen is...
I don't know why, because they'd all end up at my house, but that's all right.
Regardless, he'll be playing video games until 4 o'clock in the morning. Oh, yeah. He'll sleep all day, and then you're going to get frustrated.
Yeah.
So he does need to have... Look at me. He needs to have a job. He needs a job.
Yeah. But I'm thinking about what would he find interesting? I'd like to do, I don't even have a problem if he said I wanted to go work at Wegmans. I mean, hell, they help you with college.
That's a great one.
And we may need all the help we can get. But.
Okay, let me tell you the gross thing before we wrap up.
Yeah.
So I get this text this morning. Oh my gosh, this is freaking disgusting. So, all it says is, caught a mouse in my office. Must have been Friday afternoon because it reeks in here.
Oh.
Ew.
The dead mouse is rotting away.
Yes, that's so disgusting.
There is an absolute smell to that rot smell from that little furry body that just popped.
And especially because it's been so hot. And you know how they do this in our building, and I'm sure they do this in a lot of buildings. On the weekends, the AC doesn't run as much.
I have noticed that because right now I could cut glass with my nipples.
Right, but if you come in on a Saturday, I always, if I'm here on a Saturday, I'll be like, ugh.
It's a bit muggy.
Oh, it's super muggy. So that mouse has been just a festering in there.
Cooking
in that
away.
Warm 90-degree weather. That is my worst nightmare ever.
Yeah, that's rough.
So, and I don't even know how you get that smell out. Well, you really don't, because I believe, a mouse die in my car, and my car.
I told you, odor goblin.
I know.
All right, could you try that in your office if you're not there?
I'm sure you could.
Yeah, that might work.
Put it in on the weekend when you're gone. Gone.
I mean, you don't want to do your whole house, probably kill all your pets and everything, but
no, but your office, yeah.
Sure, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, not that Odor Goblin is sponsoring any of this, nor have I used the product. I saw it on a car detail show on TV one day, which that's a 1 season long show. How many cars can you watch get detailed and not go, I've seen this trick?
Oh, yes, but here's the one thing I love watching now. All of a sudden, so I was talking about. I have one of those patio rugs, and it's just seen its day. And so somebody said, but do you ever watch those things where people power wash them on YouTube?
Yes.
I could watch clip after clip after clip of patio rugs being power washed.
Oh, yeah, I've just power washed my deck, and I'm like, God, that was gratifying.
Yes. So
once I got motivated to actually get the thing going.
I think with that show, what's going to give it longevity is a little drama. Somebody has to like steal something out of the cup holder or something.
Yeah, right.
And then, or there's like two people hooking up who are detailing, or maybe they hook up in a car. Oh my
You left
God.
something behind after you detailed.
Yeah, your DNA.
Yeah. Oh, hey.
On that note.
All right, next week, back to it. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Well, that was fun. Wasn't that fun? That was fun. Do us a favor, will you? Subscribe. Share the Scott and Alley Not for Air podcast. Touch our buttons. We know you want to.